One area where this is kids in sort of late childhood and throughout adolescence, really kind of distinguish themselves. And this distinction becomes basically acute during adolescence as one starts to develop crushes on other people, as one starts to feel, physical desires. Uh, One big distinction is between the kids who are cool, the kids who perceive themselves as attractive and good at sports and popular because of their physical attractiveness, and the kids who perceive themselves as unattractive and probably aren't that good at sports. I mean, there can be interchange between them. You could have somebody who's a real jock, but thinks that he or she is not physically attractive. If it's a female jock, she might feel that she's almost too physically strong, a little bit muscular, a little bit quote unquote mannish. If it's a male jock, he might feel that his face is not handsome, that it looks sort of like a tough guy's face. It's complicated, but nevertheless, there is this sort of distinction between the kids who feel content, mainly content in their bodies, the kids who feel super content with their bodies, and the kids who don't. And this is partly based on, subjective sense of self. Some kids start their teens thinking that they're not good looking, but turn out to be attractive on a regular basis to the opposite sex as their bodies develop, and then they gain more of a sense of confidence, maybe or maybe not, or maybe they carry feelings of insecurity with them. I mean, I think this would happen particularly with young girls as their bodies develop, and some of them develop, in a way that's really attractive to guys, and some girls who go through this process become very confident, and then other girls sort of realize they're attractive to guys because of they've suddenly got big breasts and so forth, but underneath they feel a sort of lingering insecurity. Guys who start off as sort of nerds, but develop a reputation as being sort of handsome and cool later may develop a greater sense of confidence. Guys who are sort of feeble but start working out and become very muscular might experience a sort of change in their self-image, their self-perception of their bodies. But for the most part, what tends to happen is that there are the attractive kids who go through life feeling a confidence about their attractiveness, and then there are the other kids who don't, who go through life feeling very self-conscious and very shy, and feeling that rejection is what they're going to get. How can we divide these two groups? It's very difficult. There is a term for prejudice that's based on physical appearance. The term that's usually used is lookism. I prefer the term looksism. It's a little bit harder to pronounce, but it is more logical. I mean, we're basing a prejudice not on look, the ability to look, but we're basing a prejudice on looks, on physical appearance. Looksism is a real thing, but it's hard to define, whereas we can sort of categorize people according to gender, mainly male and female, but there could be, other sort of gender categories that we can articulate, that we can give labels to. There are racial categories, and again, there are sort of main sort of racial categories, but there are subcategories, mixed race kids. All these are fairly simple and easy to define relative compared to basing one's category as a person in the world based on one's physical attractiveness. And at the same time, the sense of whether one is attractive or the sense that one is not physically attractive is very, very powerful. It really has a big, big effect on human personality. And so we're going to have to keep working on that. We're going to have to develop language specifically to sort of articulate this kind of experience.